Hello, ladies. Welcome to The Great Everything, a place where bullshit is treated seriously and serious topics are treated, well, it's the 8th of March, and today in culture, the BBC aired the first episode of The Hitchhiker's Guide to... You know what? Fuck that. I'm interrupting the usual format because it's a special day. Today, we celebrate one of the top two types of man, the woe man. Yes, it's International Woe Men's Day. So today's show on The Great Everything will be dedicated to some of the extraordinary woe men, or females if you will, in culture and philosophy. Did you know that this day, 100 years ago, the February Revolution in Russia was sparked off by a Woe Man's Day march in Petrograd, that's current-day St. Petersburg? Yeah, 60,000 Woe Man's Day marchers, both men and women, joined factory strikers in protest against food rationing and the war. Less than a week later, the Tsar had to abdicate. The socialists have always been strong on this issue. Stalin, of course, had women enlisted in the army to fight the Germans in World War II. You guys ever hear about the Night Witches? Oh man. Okay, so the Night Witches were the most badass Russian stealth bomber unit in World War II. And they were all very young girls, in their late teens. They were between 17 and 22, 23. And they enlisted among general derision. You know, this was a very ugly war, and commanders, they didn't want little girls to fight in the army with them. But they were needed because it was a general invasion and it was an existential threat to Soviet Russia. And these young girls almost immediately proved everyone wrong, and they became national heroes. These girls would get into these tiny, old-school crop duster planes, the ones basically made of wood and paper, and they'd fly over German camps in Soviet territory at night to avoid detection, of course, and then they'd switch off their engines to make no noise and dive down to just above ground level and manually drop bombs on the Germans. These aren't bomber planes, so they just had bombs tied to the side. And because the engines were switched off, the planes diving would make this howling whooshing sound, which is why the Germans called them the Night Witches. They said it sounded like broomsticks in the night. And these planes, they were so tiny, they could only carry a couple of bombs at a time, so the girls had to do sometimes 10 flights or more per night. Oh, and because of space and weight, but also because of the low altitude, they couldn't carry a parachute. And in the end, this unit of about 40 or so girls dropped 23,000 tons of bombs on the Germans. Imagine being camped outside in the Russian winter, freezing cold at night, surrounded in this deadly silent snow. And suddenly, from the black, you hear the wind howling eerily, and then fire and explosions all around you. The Night Witches were so feared that if you were a German and could knock one of them out the sky, you'd automatically be awarded an Iron Cross, which was the German equivalent of the Medal of Honor. Anyway, stay tuned today for more badass woe men on The Great Everything. And in the immortal and inspiring words of Dave Chappelle,
Celebrate and make it